AEW fans, welcome to Fabulous Wrestling Talk AEW. We are talking Revolution tonight. I had to look it up. They're like WCW. They come up with so many names for every other weekend that half the time I don't know what the actual pay per view is. But there's only one person I want to talk Revolution with, and that is my tag team partner, Clay Harden. How are you, bud?
I am ready to get this on the road. I got a big weekend coming up, and we got this pay per view we got to squeeze in at some point.
Yep, we were just trying to go over semantics of that. Not sure if we'll watch that at the same time or not, but we are going to get this one watched. This one is going to be at the Crypto.com arena, otherwise known as Los Angeles, California. They've been on the East Coast for so long, it's about time they went to the West Coast. And one pre-show match and 9 on the actual card. We were kind of talking before. Elimination Chamber for WWE was 4 matches. For what they did, that worked. I think that the happy medium is about 6 or 7 matches on the card.
Yeah, me too. But you can have a short card like, a 4-match card when you have the swerve at the end like you had with John Cena turning heel.
Absolutely. And anybody that wants to hear mine and Daniel's take on that, it should be the show posted just before this one, as we just recorded it. So we had plenty of things to say about that. I did a little cosplay in the middle of it, so hopefully everybody enjoys that. I can't promise I won't dress up as something on this show, but let's get into the pre-show. There is one pre-show match. It is a trios match that looks like they just wanted to fit everybody in, and they're wanting to push a particular faction that probably not going to ever do anything. It is Big Boom AJ, who is that big guy that we saw a couple events ago, and Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe. That's why I had to wear the J shirt. They're going to have Big Justice, which is Big Boom AJ's kid, I believe. But they're going to face Johnny TV and the MXM collection of Mansoor and Mason Madden. That's about the extent of the excitement I have for that match.
Johnny TV, I don't know why they have another guy they just brought over here for whatever reason and done nothing with him.
Yeah, no idea. Just and I mean, at least they paired him with these two. He's going to be able to help them a lot more than they can help him, but I don't even know what he's doing.
How are they going to put Orange Cassidy, who's won more matches than anybody in AEW history, worked more matches than anybody in AEW history, and you're going to stick him on the pre-show? That's bullcrap.
I think Orange Cassidy has won more matches in his short AEW career than the MXM collection have had matches total in their career.
Oh, for sure. He's the all-time. I saw it last night. He's the all-time winningest wrestler in AEW history. 158 wins.
Wow, that's impressive. That's in a 5-year run.
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good many. But I mean, more than likely, Big Boom is going to get some sort of big pop out of this. I still don't know what the end game is with him, but I don't know. This may not even be worth watching.
He's the kid that's internet famous.
Yep. Yeah, that's what Big Justice is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Big Boom AJ trains out of the Nightmare Academy, so he's at least a local guy.
Yeah, I probably won't watch it.
Probably not. So we move to what I hope they keep it in the order that it's in right now, because that means the opening match will be one William Ospreay versus a Kyle Fletcher. I believe these two know each other, and I believe these two will do their best to rival the KO versus Sami Owens match from Elimination Chamber.
In a steel cage. You want to open the show with a steel cage match? I'm not mad at it. Seems like it's a lot of work.
Well, I mean, it's on cables anyway, so you just lower it down, and when you're done, you pick it back up.
There's no way Ospreay's not winning this match. They're 1-1. This is a rubber match.
Yep, absolutely, because they're not ready to put Kyle completely over yet.
You know my rule too. Whoever gets over on the go home show is usually going to lose the match on the pay per view. So Kyle worked him over pretty good Wednesday night. now Osprey's going to come back and beat him in the rubber match.
And the only difference is that sometimes, we always record this before Collision happens. So unless we know the Collision results, they could have flipped that on Collision. But I agree with you. There's no reason why Will Ospreay doesn't win here.
Yeah, I don't even know if they're. I saw the Collision lineup. They're not even scheduled to be at Collision.
Okay, good. Maybe they'll leave it where it is then. Next match for the AEW Continental Championship, we get one Kazuchika Okada against one half of the Hounds of Hell, Brody King. I know they've been pushing Brody's stablemate a good bit here lately, which has been nice, Buddy Murphy. But Brody versus Okada is going to be very brutal, very New Japan style.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Okada, like he's been over here working these soft matches for the last couple of years. I'm not sure if he's ready for this.
It's I would. I'm trying to think of somebody in New Japan that probably hits as hard as Brody King. Um, Maybe the Stone Pitbull a good while back before he kind of got dinged up. I don't know that there's anybody over there that hits as hard and as thick as Brody King.
No, and when he does, like when he chops, you can feel the like when you're sitting there in the arena next to ringside, you can feel the chop. You can feel it through
Yeah,
the echo through your chest.
yeah. It hurts you when he chops somebody else.
But I don't see them taking the belt off Okada just yet.
No, not with little to no build up. I felt like Okada was probably going to face somebody else, and this was a last minute. You know what? Why don't we put Brody in there?
I feel like we're building towards Okada versus Kenny Omega, probably at All In, and Omega will probably be the international champion at the time, and there'll be some kind of title unification.
Yep, I agree because they're. I think they're guilty of having too many titles right now.
And who don't want to see Okada and Kenny Omega
Yeah, one more time.
one more time?
Yeah, I agree. I think Okada wins this, but I think Brody puts on a show that gets him even more respect.
Yeah, it'll help put him over.
Now this next match, if it wasn't for the Moxley Cope stuff, I think should be the main event. But instead, being in the middle of the card like this is a good spot. One Maxwell Jacob Friedman against Hangman Adam Page. They've been building this for a little over a year, and they're finally going to put these two together straight up. And I'm curious to see what they do with it.
Yeah, it's just going to be just a back and forth banger. Both of them may be bleeding when it's over.
In fact, I'd be willing to bet if I set the over under at 1.5 as to people in this match that are bleeding by the end, I think you take the over.
Yeah, the ref may be bleeding when it's over,
Might be
but
people at ringside, camera guys, security.
I think they I think they let I think MJF wins this match.
Think so?
Yeah, I think he needs to win here to carry his. I think he's going to have a lot of momentum into the summer, and he will probably be in the title picture. I don't know who's going to have the title at the time. Probably Moxley, but I know they don't usually like doing heel versus heel title matches, but I don't know how you keep MJF out of the. He to me he's the best wrestler in the company right now.
I will concede that point for sure about him being the best and or at least one of the best for sure, one of either number one or number two, and him having a good run through the summer would be good. But if Mox is going to be the champ, and spoiler alert, I don't think he's losing on this card. I feel like Adam Page versus Mox is something that's been brewing for a minute, maybe more backstage than anything. And I feel like Page wins this one, and he does what you said MJF is going to do, and kind of him and Mox go at it for the next couple months.
Yeah, well, they're trying. Like the face push is coming from Hangman,
Yeah,
but they're trying to do the Stone Cold face push, where
yeah,
he's the anarchist and he's an asshole and he's a bully, but the fans like him.
they
Um,
do.
and,
It
and I'm
doesn't
not
matter what
sure.
he does; they still love him.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work. Stone Cold was supposed to be the ultimate heel. That's what Vince McMahon had in his mind.
Yeah,
Was he was going to be the biggest heel the company had ever seen.
Yep.
And when he did his 316 speech at King of the Ring in 96, 90, yeah, 96,
Yep.
the fans just absolutely loved it.
Yep.
And they're trying to do the same thing with Page, but I don't know if it's going to be as over as it was back then.
No, because Adam Page is, with all due respect, not Steve Austin. They're two different personalities, and Page is better at being that weird loner guy that he normally is, and not trying to be Steve Austin.
And he needs to trim that mustache because
He does. It's pretty.
it
It's
looks
pretty
it looks
terrible.
weird.
It's pretty terrible. Um, so we disagree on that one, but either way, I think we agree that the winner of that match is probably the next up to go against Mox.
Yeah, I think the winner's the summer title picture guy.
Yeah. Up next, the Hurt Syndicate, which is Lashley and Benjamin, of course, with MVP out there. I love MVP in the role he's doing. I think it's absolutely perfect.
Hey, he
Uh,
still looks good in the ring too.
he can still go. I think he's smart enough to dial it back and go, you know what, I can do this other stuff and be a lot better off.
He's not. I think he's about the same age as Lashley.
I think he's slightly older. I feel like what Lashley's like 41, 42. He's close to my age.
He's got to be older than that. I know
You think?
Shelton Benjamin's close to my age,
Yeah. Yeah, Shelton definitely. I think MVP is closer to Shelton than he is to Lashley.
but Shelton Benjamin's I think 46, 47.
The Lashley is, come on, show me a birthday. There he is. Oh, Lashley is 48.
I thought he was my age. Yeah, Shelton Benjamin's like
Shelton
46 or 7 too, right?
49.
Yeah, and MVP's like 49.
MVP is 51.
All right, so I would like to see them all three get together and make a trios run. Just
It'd
let
be
them have
hard to
the
beat them.
just let them have the tag belts and the trios at the same time.
Yeah, because
They
at the
then,
go ahead,
then they could be like um the girl I can't stand.
Monet.
Yeah, whatever her name is. They could be like her and have all the belts hanging around their neck and on both shoulders. And
If
I was gonna
you know,
I was gonna
it
call her
wouldn't hurt my
Sasha
feelings
Banks.
if Lashley and Mox went at it.
I don't know how you. There's two guys in the company. If it was me, one of them two would have the belt on them, the big title at all times. One of the two. It would either be Lashley or Big Bill. Would always have the big belt. And I don't know how you don't strap a title to those two guys and let them just do what they do.
I agree, and let everybody else fight over the smaller one.
Yep.
But the Hurt Syndicate, they are going to face um, basically the new day of AEW up until the recent turn from them. The Outrunners, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. We really love these guys. These guys are super cool. Such a throwback to the 80s. They would have been great in the old WWF back in those days, the Ultimate Warrior days and Big Boss Man. But my goodness, the Hurt Syndicate, the crowd has a organic chant of "We hurt people" or "They hurt people," and the Hurt Syndicate are gonna hurt the Outrunners.
Yeah, I agree. Hurt Syndicate's going to keep the titles until they get a viable tag team to really challenge them. They're going to keep the titles, but I could see the Outrunners like
Yeah,
in like 1983 Championship Wrestling from Florida.
yeah.
You
Oh
know
yeah, Dusty and Kevin Sullivan would have loved these guys.
that Miami Vice feel.
Yeah, yeah. Down
Yeah.
Florida Championship Wrestling, I think that would
Oh
have
yeah.
been it.
No, no, no.
Or even actually, they would have
Championship
probably.
Wrestling from Florida.
Yep, yep.
Get it
Championship
right.
Wrestling from Florida. I think they would have done pretty well in the Sportatorium. I think.
Out in Dallas.
They would be the novelty. Now they would only go against the Von Erichs ever so often, maybe the Funks later on, but they would be like the opening card match to get everybody so pumped up.
Yeah, maybe. They would have been fun too to watch in the mid '80s against the Rock and Roll Express in about the WCW, pre WCW when it was Mid Atlantic.
Yeah, and that's not saying we couldn't still see this matchup. I know that good buddy of yours is going to cuss at me for saying that, but that matchup could still happen. Those guys can still
Hey,
go.
that dude's got two new hips, and they are wide open for booking right now. He is his next 3 or 4 months are booked solid.
Wow. I guess I'm gonna have to get on the list to get him on here sometime.
I can make that happen. I did hump about $150 off of him in a card game the other night. So,
See, that's part of why I've never sat in on that card game because I would feel a little bad about robbing from him.
oh, I don't feel bad at all. His money's just as good as anybody's.
Absolutely. Let's see. Let's get through the rest of this card. The next match is absolutely the break, not only in the action, but this is a good time to get more snacks or test the plumbing facilities of wherever you're at. Mercedes Monet, otherwise known as Clay's favorite wrestler, is going to face Momo Watanabe.
Yeah, I'm out on that. I don't even know who that. I don't know who that chick is. I'm out know who
She's
she
from
is.
she's from Stardom, I think, in Japan.
Yeah, and I don't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't care if I ever saw Mercedes Monet wrestle a match again in my life.
My problem is they normally put her against people that I really like. In this case, I had to look up who Momo was, and even when she came out, I didn't know who she was.
Yeah, I don't. I'm out.
Four more to go. We should be able to do this. Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet. Luckily for Ricochet, this is going to happen in a ring and not on a microphone PA system because he is drastically outskilled on a mic next to
Wait,
Swerve Strickland.
yes.
But Ricochet can go in the ring, and these two have a very love hate relationship. So this should be good.
Last time I saw Swerve and Ricochet, Swerve power bombed him on the side of the security barrier. Did you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And it was there were 5 or 6 thousand people there, and in unison, every one of them went, "Oh!"
Yeah, yeah. That couldn't have felt good.
Oh no, he got power bombed on a 3 inch wide
Yeah,
wall.
yeah. I had a good vantage point from that. I was across from that where it was happening. So,
Like,
um,
how do you take care of somebody when you power bomb on the top of the wall?
I mean, luckily Ricochet's not that wide, so he was about as wide as what he landed on. But other than that, I don't know.
And Swerve mentioned his wife on the show last night, which is kind of funny. But I see Swerve winning this match and getting Nana's robe back.
Yeah, because first I thought it was just about just Nana's robe, but then I found out that it was Jimmy Rave's robe, and I'm a big Jimmy Rave fan. Met him dozens of times. One of the most fun people I've ever met in Georgia wrestling, and I definitely want that jacket back with Nana.
Yep, that's gonna happen.
Um, the rematch, Timeless Tony Storm versus Mariah May. I think this is going to be good, but I don't think Tony's losing. I think the only reason she passed off the belt and took that little bit of a hiatus so Mariah could have the run was because she is in the new movie Queen of the Ring, which debuts this weekend and looks really good.
The one of the best things they done was brought back the original Tony Storm with the athlete look with the eye
Yeah,
black and
yeah.
she and her acting
The
like she was a
Ashley Mazzaro look.
her acting like she was new to the business and just
Yeah.
breaking in and yeah, that was and when we were in Atlanta,
Oh, by far.
her
Yeah.
performing as Mariah May was pretty funny too.
Oh yeah. What the dashing dapper whatever Justin was doing the announcing and I was over on the
Dapper
side
yapper.
where she came out and when he goes and her opponent playing the role of, I could see her coming through the entranceway, and I said, this might be the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And seeing timeless Tony Storm play Mariah May, possibly better than Mariah May, might have been the best part of the entire show.
Nailed it. And those hair extensions were coming out every,
They were,
every time they do a move. Those hair extensions were flying all over the place. It was pretty funny. But
it
yeah, I
was,
got
it was,
Tony Storm.
yeah, absolutely. It was cracking Mariah May up. She was trying to keep it together at the desk, and she finally had to act mad and get up because she looked like she was going to laugh so hard.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But I do have Tony Storm winning this one.
Absolutely. We're going to get Konosuke Takeshita defending his international championship versus Kenny Omega. I agree with what you said earlier. I think this is a really good match. I don't think Takeshita is ready for that big level yet. He's really close, but Omega's going to win this, and we're going to see them join those two belts together soon.
Yeah, I kind of spilled the beans on it earlier, but I do think Omega beats Takeshita, and then he's going to have we're going to have about a 3 month long program with him and Okada,
Yep,
and they're going to meet for the fourth or fifth time, fourth time.
something like that. It's not that many.
I think it'll be their fourth. They'll meet for the fourth time at All In Texas and
I
unify those
think
titles.
I think what I would do is I would have them face one time for the international title, another time for the continental title, and have neither of them lose the belt, and then say, well, we're going to face each other where one or the other is losing the belt.
Yep, and hopefully in that time the Young Bucks will come back and do finish up whatever story they started with Okada.
Yep. Shout out Young Bucks for still one of the coolest bits of wrestling swag y'all could ever have.
I don't know that I like what they were doing with Okada and Jack Perry and the Young Bucks, and they kind of just broke it all up.
By the way, where's Jack Perry? Is he back in Japan?
I hadn't seen him, and they haven't really done anything with Okada. I mean, I feel like I've only seen him wrestle twice in the last 2 months. So
Yeah. Kind of weird the way they're doing it.
kind of like putting Shibata with Samoa Joe. Like, why? The dude's name's the Wrestler.
The
Let him
OGs
wrestle.
or whatever they're saying their name is now.
Yeah, just
I don't know.
weird.
But that moves us to the main event. I refuse to call him by either of the things he goes with here. I agree with you. It is going to be Edge challenging John Moxley for the belt. The fact that he just stood up and said, "Hey, I'm getting a title match, and there's nothing you can do about it," Mox, just bugs the crap out of me. That I don't think he did anything to earn it. I don't consider his career a way to call his shot. He's not John Cena, so I hope Mox kind of wipes the floor with him.
Well, he's not. Edge is going to push him, and he's going to have the match won. But they've been the
Oh,
last month we've been seeing him take out Marina Shafir. He took out Pac. He took out
Claudio.
Audio, and then he had the chance to take out Wheeler last night, and he shook his hand, and told him this is what respect looks like. And then the show, that segment ends with Wheeler shoving Moxley, and he walks to the back. So you think maybe Wheeler's saw the light, and he's gonna get away from Moxley, but Edge is gonna have this match won, and just when you think he's about to win it and win the title, Yuta's gonna screw him over, and Moxley's gonna win the match. So we're
Yep,
not getting Faith Wheeler back yet.
I agree. I like Wheeler better with Mox. I'm still not the world's biggest fan of the way that group operates. It's so chaotic. There's no consistency to the Death Riders. I can't figure out what they're actually trying to do because they're not really attacking people anymore. They're not really trying to take anything over. They just randomly show up and do stuff.
It was cool in 1996 when he did it with Hall and Nash, but it's been there, done that. It's time to move
I
on to
mean,
something else.
this is not even the TNA Aces and Eight. I mean, at least they had purpose. I can't figure this group out.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
It's just weird. That's how we're gonna be thinking for 30 minutes that Edge is about to win the title, and Yuta's going to going to help Mox in the end, and Mox is going to retain the title.
I agree, and that's what's best for business, to for lack of a better way to put it. All in all, I think this is going to be a solid card. I think there's about half of those matches are absolutely worth seeing. About a quarter of them are complete throwaways, and the other quarter are coin flips. They could go one way or the other, or they could be completely bad.
Really, the only match I'm not really interested in seeing is the Sasha Banks
Monet,
match.
yep,
Yep. So outside of that, I'm interested to see all 15 of them.
absolutely. But we have reached the end of the show. Luckily, I don't see any John Moxley around here. But for my tag team partner, Clay Harden, I am Jeremy York. This has been Fabulous Wrestling Talk, AEW Revolution. Go watch the pay per view. We'll see you guys on the other side of it. Deuces, gooses.